Thank you so much for joining. Let's start tonight's practice by coming into a comfortable seated position. Maybe seated in the back of your chair with your spine lengthened. Maybe you're seated on the floor or on a block or a pillow. You have the legs crisscross applesauce. You can send them out long or even bring a bend to the knees, letting the arms rest on the knees. Wherever you land in this comfortable seated position, allow there to be a buoyancy, a lift, a lengthening of the spine as you begin to exhale deeply. And with your exhale, feel as your hips and glutes descend on the place where you're seated. Let there be a pull of sorts, the lifting on the inhale, the sinking on the exhale. As we settle in here, we'll start to notice our surroundings, our external surroundings. First, by noticing the temperature of the air surrounding us. Does it feel hot, cold, or maybe just right? Take a few moments to breathe and notice any sounds in your environment, maybe close by or drifting from far away. Your next deep breath, notice any aromas, whether pleasant, unpleasant, anywhere in between, that might drift through your nose. Letting yourself fully experience the external environment around you. And then drawing that same attention to detail as we start to turn inward. Begin to notice our breathing, our heartbeat. Starting to really dial into an awareness of our internal experience. Throughout tonight's practice, we're going to be focusing on 4 questions. We'll ask them for the first time right here in this moment. What in my body feels like pain? Maybe you have a tweak, twinge, or an ache, emotional or physical. And then as you scan through your body once more, what feels sensitive? Maybe it's an itch, chafing, an annoyance. And then what feels like pleasure in your body at this moment. Maybe a headache has gone away, or an ache you've been dealing with lately started to feel better. Something joyful in your life. Finally, the 4th question is, what feels neutral? Not necessarily numb, but neither happy nor sad, negative or positive. simply is throughout your body. We'll start to focus in on our breathing once more as we take our breathing exercise for today. We'll breathe in for a count of 3. We'll pause at the top for a count of 3. And then we'll extend our exhale for a count of 6. Taking this breath at our own pace. Breathing in for 3, pausing for 3, extending the exhale to 6. Allow yourself to settle into this breath. Maybe sitting with those 4 questions in regards to your breathing. There is fear, and there is love. And our lives flow between these 2. We either act or speak out of love or fear. Even in our practice, our movements, our breath. But think of that fear as just a wave in the ocean of love. The next time you speak or act, maybe notice if it is coming from a place of fear or love. Just as a wave is a part of the ocean, fear will come and fear will go. And it will dissolve into love. We must remember that waves are turbulent and can cause damage like a tsunami. But it is the ocean that holds it all. Good, negative, and the neutral. The ocean is vast, wise. So we take just a few more breaths here. Notice and feel how there is both love and fear in your heart. And begin to imagine that fear as a wave in the ocean of your love. Beautiful job. Allow our breathing to return towards its natural rhythm. We'll take one last intentional breath here as we offer ourselves a moment of gratitude for taking this time to experience an awareness of our internal and external experiences as we flow today. As you're ready, begin to wiggle fingers and toes. And let's start to add a little movement to our practice, fluttering the eyes open when you're ready. And let's start by bringing our shoulders in unison up towards our ears, and then down the back, and then up and around. We'll take them in circles. You can have your hands on your lap or maybe by your sides. going in this one direction for just a few rounds as we start to warm things up. Allow yourself to feel your breath. We'll know that throughout our practice, if you want to use that 3-3-6 breath as a focus, you are always welcome to. All right, go ahead and pause. And then reverse the circles of your shoulders, taking them forward, down, and back. All right, great job. Go ahead and find stillness in the shoulders and torso. We'll bring one hand to our heart, one hand to our abdomen. You can keep your eyes closed or open here, but I want you to take a few intentional breaths. And as you do, I'm going to have you ask yourself again once more, in your body at this moment, what feels like pain? What feels sensitive? Feels pleasurable? What feels neutral? Go ahead and bring hands to prayer at heart center. And then as we exhale, drop your hands down by your sides. Allow the palms to face up as you circle them up towards the ceiling. You can keep them wide or start to bring them together in a prayer overhead. And then with slow, steady movement, flip the palms and exhale, slowly letting the hands release back down, circling back to prayer at heart center. See if you can slow this movement down with each cycle of breath. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. As you take this movement at your own pace, maybe checking in with those questions once more. Maybe it changes as you move throughout your practice. Maybe a sore shoulder is making itself more known at the moment, or release from sitting still feels like pleasure. Last time, finishing up this last one with hands at heart center. Go ahead and interlace your fingers. Begin to push the palms away from you as you round through the spine, letting your ears drop in between the arms. With an inhale, we let the arms raise overhead. If this is feeling tight through the shoulders, feel free to release the bind, taking them a little bit wider, but still keeping the palms flipped out, no matter where you are at. We're going to pause here and start to find a little torso circle. Imagining we're drawing a circle on the ceiling with our palms. Great job. As you exhale, go ahead and switch directions. Beautiful. Go ahead and pause and center. Exhale, let those arms float down towards your sides. They can rest on your lap or again on the sides. And then one at a time, we're going to start to roll our shoulders back and around, maybe going a little faster or a little slower than we went last time, changing it up a little bit in one way or another. And then reverse that. Great job. All right, find a little bit of stillness through the shoulders and arms. Go ahead and exhale and drop our right ear towards our right shoulder, allowing your left side of your neck to release. Now hold it here for just a breath. See if with your exhales, you can start to release it even more, softening the muscles. Now with your next exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. Pausing here, opening up through the back and the nape of the neck. Our next exhale takes left ear to left shoulder, holding and pausing there. Allowing your exhales to soften into this next stretch. Exhale, bringing chin back to chest. Holding for breath. And then allowing the right ear to come back towards the right shoulder, ending where we started. Except for we're not. We're gonna go ahead and start to find a little bit of fluid movement, matching your breath. As you roll from shoulder to shoulder, letting your chin come towards your chest. Maybe checking in with those 4 questions here as you move through the spine. And you're always welcome to continue with half circles or maybe take full circles if that feels like it would be supportive in your neck. Making sure that if you go in full circles that eventually you switch and take the circles in the opposite direction as well. Great job. Inhale, bring your chin back up to the, or gaze back up to the horizon. And then let's squeeze our shoulders up towards our ears, really scrunch them up. And then with an exhale, let them come dangle down. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, bring them up towards your ears, hold them 1, 2, 3, and then exhale, let them drop for a count of 6. Take it at your own pace. Last one. Great job. Our next inhale, let's bring our arms up to shoulder height, letting the fingers tips come out to either side. We're going to take our hands in 3 circles forward, middle circles, and then take them 3 circles back. Great job. Pause there. Your next exhale, bring your hands down towards your knees or maybe towards your legs or feet or the floor. And we're going to take it into a forward fold. Really curl your chin down towards your chest. Feel the stretch through the lower spine as you release and round here. Beautiful job. With our inhale, we're going to slide our hands from wherever they are back up to the top of our legs. And then allow your spine to unfurl into a straight line, but then take your gaze up, press into your hands as you lift your heart, taking it into just the tiniest of spinal back bends. Great job. Exhale, bring it back to arms to a T. 3 circles forward. 3 circles back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge it into your variation of your forward fold. Inhale, sliding the hands up the legs till they're at the thighs, continuing to straighten and then back bend. Lifting heart, lifting chin. Exhale, straight spine. We'll revisit that flow a few times throughout class today, so we'll maybe hold on to that flow in your mind for just a moment. From there, we're going to go ahead and take our legs in a little bit wider than hip distance if we're seated in the chair. And if we're on the floor, we're going to go ahead and come into a frog seat. So soles of the feet on the floor, knees bent. From here, we're going to take our right elbow towards our right knee. And then take your left hand out to the left side, reach it up and behind you, roll the shoulder back, really feel an arching of the spine even. And then with your next exhale, drop that hand and shoulder towards your right knee. Find that in a bit of a fluid movement. Feeling free to hold any part of it for as long or as little as you'd like. Great job. Last one. Go ahead and let your left hand come back out behind you. Exhale, bring it down. And then let's go ahead and switch sides. Left hand or elbow to your knee. Start to let that right arm come up and out back behind you, opening up, maybe arching the spine just a little bit. Exhale, right shoulder towards left knee. Find your own fluid movement here, moving through the spine, twisting and alternating through your body, maybe revisiting those questions. What feels painful, sensitive, pleasurable, or neutral? Great job. Exhale to release. Go ahead and come back through center. From here, we're going to take our legs even wider. If you're seated on the floor or in the chair, you can keep your knees bent with the feet on the floor, or you can start to send the legs out long, whatever feels better for you in your own body. We're going to inhale, bring our hands to that prayer at heart center. From here, you can keep it in a prayer or maybe interlace the back three fingers and bring the pointer fingers and thumbs together. Alrighty, from here, we're going to inhale, point those fingers out in front of us. Then we're going to find a sunflower-like movement. So we're going to bring our fingers, we're going to point them towards our right leg or right toes, then down towards the ground towards our left toes. Drawing a big circle as they reach up towards the ceiling and continuing in one direction for a few rounds. So if you're seated in the chair, being mindful not to topple out of your chair, maybe altering how far down you point so that it allows you to keep yourself a little more upright. Last time this direction. Once you get to the top of your circle, pause and then reverse. Great job. Last time your arm comes up through center, pause there. Exhale to release. All right, from here, let's all come on up to standing. We'll start in our mountain pose. Feeling our feet grounded. Taking a moment. Are we moving with love or fear today? Inhale, circle arms up to a T. We'll take 3 circles forward. Maybe this time your circles are a little bigger. And then 3 circles back. Inhale, arms circle up. Exhale, hinge into your forward fold. Hands rest maybe on a prop, bending the knees. Keeping the hands can also rest on your own legs or the floor, your chair, really whatever feels good here. Take a moment to let the top of your head reach towards the floor. Find a little dangle here. Press into your hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bend the knees a little deeper. Inhale, press into the hands, halfway lift. This time, we're gonna bend the right knee, keep the right hand where it is, but then circle the left hand out to the side and back, twisting it out. Exhale to release, left hand to center, bend left knee, lift right hand. Exhale, release to center. Exhale, hinge into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands stay where they are, or maybe come to airplane arms. Palms face down, pinky squeeze in towards the hips. Exhale, release, forward fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, slow roll up to tall mountain. From your tall mountain, your hands can be together. They can be separate. You bring them to your hips or to a prop, but we're gonna find our back bend, starting to take our hands, our heart, and our gaze up towards the ceiling. Now again, those hands can always be at your hips, supporting your lower back as you look up. Great job. Exhale, arms come to a T. Spine straight. Great job. Go ahead and exhale, release that. Take any movement that you would like. From here, let's take our mountain, step our right foot back into a warrior one. Toes a little bit to the side, hips pointing forward. Nice generous bend in that front knee. Set up just like normal. Thighs are pulling in towards center. Your core is engaged. Top of your spine reaching towards the ceiling. Maybe check in. Maybe lift your arms. Maybe ask yourself those 4 questions. Or are you moving from love or fear? You're doing great. One last breath here. Exhale, cactus the arms. Pull your heart forward, lift your gaze. Exhale, release your hands to a prayer at heart center. Our next inhale, we're going to flip our palms forward and then push our arms straight out in front of us, like we're pushing a block away from us. Great job. Inhale, straighten that front arm. Lift, straighten your front leg. Lift your arms overhead. Exhale, circle hands down to lower back. Maybe grab opposite hands, opposite wrists, opposite elbows. Maybe you grab your strap real quick, or simply grab your shirt, but draw your knuckles down towards the floor. And then as we exhale, we begin to find a hinge in our forward fold over that front leg. Now feel free to bring a bend into the knee as you hinge forward. You can keep those hands on the hips. You can lift the hands up off the hips, or you can release the bind and bring them to a prop of your choice as you sink into this pyramid pose. Great job. Bring your gaze towards your front foot. Bring your weight towards your front foot. Step your back foot 1 or many steps. Come into your forward fold. From here, grab opposite elbows or start to find a sway. You can leave your hands on your prop for more support if you'd like. Allow your torso to swing from side to side, your hips to move, your knees to bend, your head to shake, your jaw to move. And then find a little bit of stillness. Release hands to their previous location. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe airplane arms. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, root to rise, tall mountain. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, bring it back to a straight spine and release into your mountain pose. Beautiful job. All right, let's take side two. Left foot steps back, warrior one. Check in, build your foundation from the ground up. Maybe settle into those 4 questions. You're doing great. All right, we're gonna find that little bit of flow. Exhale, cactus the arms, pull the heart forward. Exhale, prayer hands at heart center. Inhale, push the wall away from you. Inhale, straighten and lift. Exhale, find your bind, but switch it up. Funny thumb on top or change it in some way so it doesn't feel exactly the same. Draw the knuckles towards the floor. Exhale, hinge and fold over that front leg. Hands can lift, lower, or rest on the back. Beautiful job. Exhale to release the hands. Bring your gaze towards your front foot. Step it in. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take it a little deeper. Inhale, halfway lift, airplane arms. Exhale, release. Inhale, tall mountain. Take it into your back bend. Exhale through a prayer into mountain. Beautiful job. Lovely flows there. Let's go ahead and take our feet a little wider than hip distance, but not too wide, just about like a little wider than a mat would be. Toes out, heels in. Inhale, circle arms up for shallow 5-pointed star. Exhale, bring a bend into the knees, sink into the hips. We're going to find a shallow squat or a horse stance. Feel free to bounce or shift your weight or lift your heels or take whatever you need, and feel free to come in and out of this pose as you'd like throughout our practice. And for a little more stability, maybe bring a prop in front of you here. All right. We're going to bring our right hand to our leg, anywhere from hip to knee or onto your prop. And then we're going to take that left arm up and over. Exhale to come to center. Left hand down, right arm up. And then find a little bit of flow, breathing like the ocean as you flow from left to right. Let your body be a wave. You want to add a little extra, maybe drop that top hand towards the bottom foot as you bring it over towards the other knee. Finding just a little bit more fluidity throughout the body, if you're so calling for it. Last one, balance out your sides. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Bring hands together and keep them wide. Let the toes come in line with the heels, widening your stance just a little bit. And then lean towards the right, taking it into a side bend. Inhale through center. Fingertips reach up. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, release hands to your hips or to your prop. And then walk the feet into your mountain. Great job. We're gonna do one balance challenge today. And it's gonna be a dancer. You are always welcome to use your chair as the prop for dancer. It comes with many heights. You can use a wall. I love using a wall either for your hand or for your foot. And that's the same with the chair. You can have your hand on the chair, or you could have your foot on the chair. Or you could always use a prop like your strap, or even just the wall. So we'll start by shifting our weight to the right and starting to kick our left heel towards our left hip. Now you can always capture it with your hand or grab your pant leg if that's available. Or like I said, maybe you're grabbing the strap and wrapping it around. Maybe you're placing it up against a wall on any height of any prop that you have in your space. Really keep focus on a bend in your standing leg. Your core is tight and engaged. Maybe you start to find a spot on the floor that isn't moving. Now you're welcome to stay upright and really focus on the balance of just this moment. Asking yourself about those 4 questions. If you're moving from a place of love or fear, or maybe you start to find a hinge forward, extending your opposite arm forward. And that can always be on a prop as well for just a little added support. And that lean can have just a little lean. It can have a deep lean. Finding what feels right in your body in this moment. And then checking in with those questions of the day. As you're ready, exhale and release. And we'll get ready for side 2. When you're ready, shifting to the left. You might not take a minute if you would like a minute before you jump right into it. When you're ready, bring that left heel towards your hip. Start to draw the knee down. Engage your core. Bend in the standing knee. Find your spot. Now there is no shame if you just stay here working on this balance. It is extremely challenging all by itself. Or maybe you start to lift the knee behind you and hinge forward, extending opposite arm, either in space or onto a prop. Whatever feels good for you in this moment. You're doing brilliant. Take one more breath in our dancer of choice. And then with an exhale, we'll find some release. Great job. All righty. From here, we'll find a tabletop. Tabletop is always welcome to be on the high part of your chair, or even the seat of your chair, or on all fours on the floor. No matter where you're at, you want to align your wrists up with your shoulders, your knees up with your hips, you're standing, your feet as well. If you're on the floor, you're on hands and knees, spreading through fingertips. Really, everyone keeping the spine straight. Focus on, just like from that seated mountain position at the beginning of class, our spine is pulling in opposite directions. And then let's start to shift our weight to the right leg and begin to send those left toes back behind us. Now you can keep them on the floor tucked, or you can start to lift them off the floor a little, all the way up to hip height. And then point your toes away from you. If they are lifted off of a prop or the floor. Now you can stay here. Or maybe take this into spinal balance, lifting the opposite arm, extending it, again, maybe along your prop for a little more support. Or alongside the ear for just a little more challenge. Being mindful not to dump in either the shoulder or the hips. Really trying to keep that spine in that staying lengthened position. But as you pull your fingertips and toes in opposite direction. Beautiful job. Exhale, release to your tabletop. Let's take it second side. Opposite leg shifts back, tucking the toes or lifting them. And then just like before, you have the same option. You can keep both hands planted or you extend opposite arms. Being mindful not to dump into shoulders or hips. Keeping the spine as straight as you can. Asking yourself what feels like pain, pleasure, sensitivity, or simply neutral. It just is in this moment. Exhale to release, tabletop. Feel free to take any movement you'd like here. And then let's come down. If you're into the chair, you'll come onto a reclined chair position with the hips forward and the shoulders back. You're welcome to grab a pillow and place it behind your back. And if we're on the floor, let's go ahead and come onto our backs for just a moment, curling into a ball. Alrighty, no matter where we're at, let's bring our left foot to the floor. You can keep a bend in the knee or you can send the leg out long. We're hugging that right knee in towards our torso. And then let's point and flex the foot a couple times. And then maybe go in a circle and reverse it. Either holding behind the leg or maybe grabbing your strap and wrapping it around the foot. We'll send our leg out long for just a breath. Point the toes away from you. Flex the toes. Inhale, bring that knee back in towards your torso. And then with an exhale, we're going to find our figure four, letting our right knee fall out to the right side. You're bringing that right flexed foot and ankle either to the knee or the leg or the floor, letting that knee fall open. If you're seated in the chair, you're always welcome to have a prop and have that foot on a prop, making a little more space. Or however your body wants to rest in this moment. Great job. Inhale, bring that right knee back in towards your torso. Exhale, we're going to take it into a twist. You can either keep your knees together, or you can stack or stagger them. You can even take a bind, but the knees go in the same direction and the gaze goes into the opposite direction. Beautiful. Exhale to unwind the spine. Come back through center. Right foot comes to the floor, right knee bent. Start to bring that left knee towards the torso. Point and flex the foot. Take some circles, then reverse them. Hands behind the legs or grab the strap. Send the leg out long. Point the toes away. Flex the ankle. Exhale, figure four of your choice. Letting that left knee or the side fall open. Noticing how that feels through the body. We'll be checking in with your 4 questions. Inhale, knee comes back to torso. Exhale, twist it to the other side. Again, knees can stay together, they can stack or stagger. You can add any props that you'd like. But the knees go in one direction and the gaze at least slightly center, left of center, or to the opposite side of center, or as far towards that side as you'd like. Your arms can be in a cactus or a T if you're on the floor. They can rest on your body in any position, or rest by your sides in any position. Great job. We'll inhale, bring it back through center. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees open out wide, coming into a reclined butterfly pose. You're seated in the chair. Feel free to bring a prop under your feet, rising and bringing the heels a little closer to your hips. Beautiful job. Our next inhale, bring your knees towards each other. If you're on your back, go ahead and roll over onto your knees. We're gonna bring our knees together. You're always welcome to bring some cushion under your knees if you'd like. Bring the heels together and then sink the hips back towards the heels. And it can be nice to maybe add a pillow or something between the knees, hips and heels here if you'd like. And then sink into a child's or embryo's pose, maybe bringing the forehead to the floor or a prop. But instead of sending the hands back by the feet, send the arms out long along the floor here. Checking in with your 4 questions. If you're seated in the chair, you're going to simply take your knees a little wider than hip distance. Bring your hands to your legs and hinge your body forward, curling chin to chest. Now you're welcome to stay here, or if it feels okay in your body, find an extension through your arms, letting them come maybe to your knees or your thigh, or shins or your feet, or even extending them towards another prop in front of you. Check in with those 4 questions. In this moment, after all this movement, what feels like pain, sensitive, pleasure, neutral. And as we take our last breath of those questions today, we'll roll up to a comfortable seated position of our choice. So if that child's feet, legs is not comfortable, feel free to switch it into any other position that you would like. If you're seated in the chair, maybe you even recline. We're going to start to rub our hands together vigorously. And if we wear glasses, feel free to set those to the side for just a moment. As you begin to rub your hands together vigorously, you start to feel a little heat building between your hands. Keep going until it feels like it's about to catch on fire. If you rub them together any further, any quicker, any faster, any more, and then bring those hands, the parts of your hands, the lower part, and let them rest on your closed eyelids, letting the heat that you've just generated warm and relax the muscles throughout the face, eyes, and everything else. Beautiful job. Now you can Allow your hands to start to fall away, but maybe take a couple fingers to each side of your temple, giving yourself a little massage at your temples. And then maybe running fingers gently down the forehead, around the sinuses, around the eyes, maybe down the bridge of the nose, the cheeks. Maybe rub the jaw, or down the neck or the nape of the neck. Maybe the upper arms or shoulders. Just take a moment here, giving yourself a little self-care. Even checking in with those questions one last time. Does this feel like pleasure? And if not, maybe switch it up and find what does feel like pleasure. Go back to some place you were just a moment ago. Alrighty. Then as you're ready, go ahead and release the massage. And we'll find our final resting pose. As always, you can come to a corpse pose or constructive rest. You can stay in your chair. You can find someplace a little more comfy in your space. You can feel free to add pillows, blankets, blocks, or even take a legs up the wall. It's up to you. But settle into a place that feels like rest to you. Maybe allowing your eyes to close or your gaze to soften. As you settle in, take this last moment to check in with your body. Maybe you don't ask each question individually, but see what jumps at you as you breathe. And then notice your external experience once more. Does the air around you feel any different than it did before? Have the sounds changed? Or even the smells? And then with intention, we start to draw ourselves inward. Not changing our breath, but noticing it for a really intense moment. As we allow our inhale in, we start to feel the draw of the ocean wave. And as we breathe out, it crashes. Start to feel your breath as the rhythm of the ocean. Now with this next exhale out, that ocean expands into a vast scenery around us. As we begin to imagine ourselves settled into a cozy spot at a beautiful ocean front. There's soft sand. It's the perfect temperature for your ultimate comfort. Might be blue skies and sun, or overcast and temperate. But as you take a big breath in, begin to fill your lungs with the salty, humid air. As you breathe out, notice any thoughts that come into your mind. Label them a thought, and then set it on a cloud, letting it drift away without any more attention. As you start to return your focus to your breath, the ocean. Maybe you can start to feel your entire body melt to your blanket or chair. As we begin to observe this place with all of our senses, can you purposefully deepen your breath, allowing it to become more rhythmic? Maybe you feel the light of the sun warming your skin. Or maybe there's a cool breeze caressing you. Breathe in, breathe out. And as you gaze out over the brilliant gem-like ocean, notice the hue. Maybe it's turquoise or sapphire. Maybe it's emerald or jade. Calm waves breaking in the distance. Maybe there are small dunes dotting the beach, or rocks and cliffs. Maybe a sun peeks behind puffy clouds. Notice the push and pull of the ocean in front of you. Maybe there are sea grasses rustling nearby, or wildflowers. Maybe you hear birds or dogs barking. Or maybe you dig your toes in the cold sand. Or maybe it's warm. Like waves of the ocean, your breath flows in and flows out. Smelling the sweet floral scent of any flowers nearby, mixed with the salty air you can almost taste. As you inhale deeply and then exhale, maybe a sense of tranquility washes over you. You notice where the ocean meets the sand, and the sand becomes compacted with water. As you breathe the salty air in deeply, maybe you even feel the light spray of the ocean on your face and skin, instantly cooling you, tasting the salt water. Maybe you notice a school of dolphins jumping playfully in the vast ocean horizon. Breathing in, breathing out. As the warm or dry air, sun dries your skin from the salty spray. The hairs on your body tingle slightly with salty evaporation. Maybe you watch a familiar V formation of birds soaring across the ocean's edge. reminding yourself to breathe in all the beauty that surrounds you. Maybe you take this moment to smile, content in that peace, having fully taken the time to explore this wondrous place. There is only fear and love, and our lives flow between the two. We must remember that waves are turbulent and can cause damage, like a tsunami. But it is the ocean that holds it all. It is the ocean that is vast and wise. Love. Like one last breath here. The deepest breath of our day so far. As we allow our ocean scene to fade from our mind. And we start to come back into our own space. Maybe we rest for just a moment, eyes closed. Or maybe we start to reorient ourselves to our space. But in your own time and in your own way, start to find your way into an upright position facing me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time.